Here's the uncomfortable truth about the RAV4 in 2026. It's still a smart SUV, but it's no longer the automatic best choice. Not because Toyota forgot reliability, and not because the RAV4 suddenly got bad, the real reason is simpler. The compact SUV class has caught up, and in a few key areas, it's actually passed it. The old logic was easy. Buy the RAV4, get great resale, avoid drama. The new reality? Buyers want value, tech, comfort, and efficiency all at once, and they want it to feel modern every single day. Yes, the 2026 RAV4 is a redesign, and Toyota's going all in on hybrids with big tech upgrades, but that also raises the price floor and removes the cheap base model path that used to make it a guaranteed value win. So today we're looking at 5 SUVs that can legitimately beat the RAV4 in 2026 where it matters in real life. Better value, better tech, and a better ownership experience, depending on your priorities. Number 5. Subaru Forester. The Forester is not the flashiest SUV on this list, and that's exactly why it keeps winning buyers who think long-term. Because the Forester's superpower isn't "look at my tech." It's calm control in the real world, visibility, safety, traction confidence, and a design that makes daily life easier without punishing you on operating costs. Let's start mechanical. The 2026 Forester uses a 2.5-liter flat-4 boxer engine, feeding a continuously variable transmission and standard all-wheel drive. Output is around 180 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. Now, on paper, that sounds weaker than some competitors. But the Forester's goal isn't to feel fast. It's to feel stable, predictable, and easy to drive in bad weather and imperfect roads. That's why it's such a strong alternative for the buyer who values confidence over hype. Suspension and steering are part of the Forester personality. It's tuned for comfort and control on rough pavement, and that matters in daily life more than most people admit. A vehicle that feels composed over broken roads feels higher quality even if it isn't trying to be sporty. Steering is light but predictable, which helps when you're constantly doing small corrections in traffic or on long highway drives. Braking is one of those areas where the Forester's safety-first identity shows up. You're not buying it because it has massive brakes like a performance SUV, but because the whole vehicle is designed to behave predictably. That predictability is what prevents accidents and fatigue. Now, design and comfort. Forester's body shape is extremely functional. The visibility is one of the best in the segment. Tall glass, upright stance, and a cabin that feels open instead of claustrophobic. That alone can make it feel safer and more relaxing than a lot of sporty crossovers with high belt lines and tiny windows. Inside, the tech is smarter than people assume. Subaru offers an available 11.6-inch high-resolution touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. That matters because it modernizes the Forester without turning it into a rolling iPad. More important, Subaru's approach tends to favor usability. You get a system designed to work consistently, not just impress you in a showroom. Safety and driver assistance is where the Forester truly swings at the RAV4. Every 2026 Forester includes standard EyeSight driver assist technology, and Subaru positions it as an extra set of eyes, including active safety functions and available automatic emergency steering that can provide steering and pre-collision braking support when there's room to intervene. This is the kind of safety tech philosophy that attracts buyers who drive with families, in rain or in heavy traffic, and want a vehicle that actively reduces risk. And if your life includes snow, muddy roads, camping trails, or rough pavement, Forester's practical capability is real. Subaru highlights available X mode with hill descent control, and ground clearance is strong for the class, 8.7 inches on most trims, with the Wilderness pushing up to 9.3 inches. That's not off-road truck territory, but it's more than enough for most real-life adventure use without making the SUV huge and thirsty. Efficiency is solid for an AWD compact SUV. Car and Driver notes EPA estimates around 26 city and 33 highway for most trims, with some trims slightly lower. This matters because it keeps your operating costs stable, especially if you don't want to pay hybrid pricing. Now, the cost story. Edmunds lists Forester starting at $29,995 for the base trim, which is a major value entry point, especially when you remember its standard AWD. Subaru's basic warranty is typically 3 years or 36,000 miles, with a 5-year or 60,000-mile powertrain warranty. This isn't the longest warranty on this list, but Forester's resale strength in AWD-loving regions is often very good because people specifically shop for used Foresters. So where does Forester beat the RAV4? Not in wow, look at this screen. It beats the RAV4 in visibility, standard AWD identity, practical safety philosophy, and the calm confidence that makes daily driving easier. If you want the SUV that makes you feel more in control, more protected, and less stressed, this is one of the strongest alternatives in 2026. Number 4. Mazda CX-50. The CX-50 is the I want my SUV to feel premium without paying premium brand ownership costs option. Mazda has a very specific strategy. Build an SUV that feels like it belongs in a higher category, steering feel, interior quality, driving confidence, then price it like a mainstream product. And for the buyer who cares about driving experience and cabin feel, the CX-50 can absolutely dethrone the RAV4 emotionally and rationally at the same time. Mechanically, CX-50 gives you clear choices. Mazda lists the CX-50 with a 2.5-liter engine family and standard I-Active all-wheel drive across trims. The naturally aspirated version is tuned for balanced daily driving, while the turbocharged version is the one you pick if you care about passing power and towing confidence. And towing is one of the biggest hidden wins here. Car and Driver notes that non-turbo CX-50 models can tow up to 2,000 pounds, while turbo models can tow up to 3,500 pounds. That's a real capability advantage because many compact SUVs either tow very little or feel strained when you ask them to work. If you tow a small camper, a utility trailer, or you live a gear-heavy lifestyle, that 3,500-pound rating changes what your compact SUV can actually do. Now, let's talk transmission and driving feel. Mazda's mainstream approach here is a traditional automatic, not a CVT. And for many buyers, that alone makes the vehicle feel more expensive. The shifts feel normal. Throttle response feels connected. The SUV doesn't feel like it's constantly searching for the right ratio the way some CVT vehicles can. Suspension and steering are where Mazda wins hearts. The CX-50 is tuned to feel controlled, tight body motions, stable cornering, and a planted highway feel. It's not a sports car, but it's one of the few compact SUVs that can make you enjoy a normal drive. That matters, because if you enjoy your vehicle, you keep it longer. If you keep it longer, you win financially. Design and interior. Mazda's interiors tend to feel one half step above the segment. Materials, seat comfort, and the sense of this is designed rather than this is assembled is why people cross-shop Mazda against entry-level luxury brands. The CX-50 also leans rugged in design, more outdoorsy proportions, without turning into a harsh ride. Tech is strong and practical. Mazda's trim comparisons show features like Mazda Radar Cruise Control with Stop and Go, available parking sensors, wireless Apple CarPlay integration on certain trims, and an overall tech package built around driver focus. The infotainment experience is meant to reduce distraction rather than overwhelm you with gimmicks. Efficiency. Mazda lists EPA estimates around 24 city and 30 highway for certain 2026 CX-50 2.5S models, with turbo trims slightly lower. That's the trade-off. You're buying a more premium driving feel, and depending on trim, you might sacrifice a bit of fuel efficiency compared to the most efficient RAV4 hybrid setups, but the CX-50 pays you back in another way. It feels more premium day to day. Cost and value. Mazda published 2026 CX-50 pricing with the 2.5S Select starting at $29,900 and the 2.5S Preferred at $32,400, which is aggressive value for an SUV that comes standard AWD. That pricing structure is how CX-50 becomes a RAV4 alternative. You can buy a very satisfying, premium-feeling version without crossing into the mid to high 30s immediately. Maintenance and ownership. Mazda ownership costs are generally normal for mainstream brands. The smart buyer strategy is simple. Choose trim based on your real needs. If you don't tow and you don't need turbo power, don't pay for it. If you do tow or you hate weak passing power, the turbo version is where the CX-50 can feel like a category upgrade. So where does CX-50 beat the RAV4? It beats it in driving feel, steering confidence, interior premium sensation, and towing capability when turbo-equipped, while still offering mainstream pricing that can undercut what a high-trim RAV4 ends up costing. Number 3. Kia Sportage Hybrid. If you want the most features per dollar energy on this list, Sportage Hybrid is the one that keeps embarrassing the segment. Because Kia is doing something Toyota rarely does. It gives you a lot of value, and it gives you an ownership confidence lever that most buyers don't fully appreciate until they've owned a few vehicles: the warranty. Mechanically, Sportage Hybrid uses a turbocharged 1.6-liter engine paired with electrification for a combined 231 horsepower. It can be configured with front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, and the hybrid system is designed to deliver strong low-speed torque, meaning it feels responsive in city driving. That matters because most compact SUVs spend most of their lives between 0 and 45 miles per hour, not racing on highways. Efficiency is a big selling point. Kia highlights that Sportage Hybrid can reach an estimated 42 mpg combined in certain configurations, and Edmunds lists a 35 mpg combined figure for an AWD version. The exact number depends on trim and drivetrain, but the story is consistent. You're getting hybrid efficiency without paying luxury hybrid money. Now, the interior and design story. Sportage Hybrid is built around space and usability. Kia specifically promotes class-leading cargo room and rear seat legroom, and in daily life, this is what you feel. It's easier to fit real people comfortably, easier to handle car seats, easier to pack luggage, easier to live with. Some compact SUVs feel good enough until you put adults in the back seat for an hour. Sportage is designed to avoid that. Tech is where Sportage Hybrid really punches the RAV4 in the face for a certain kind of buyer. The infotainment and connectivity focus is strong, and Kia tends to deliver a modern cabin interface with features people actually use. Wireless connectivity options, modern screens, and a general sense that the vehicle belongs in the current decade. Safety is not an afterthought. Kia points out the Sportage Hybrid was named a 2025 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus, recognized for strong crash protection and driver assistance performance on vehicles built after May 2025. That's important because it's not just marketing, it's an external safety recognition. Now the ownership confidence lever. Kia promotes an industry-leading 10-year or 100,000-mile limited warranty, including hybrid battery coverage. This changes buying psychology, because even if you're a careful owner, you cannot control everything. Warranty length reduces the "what if something expensive happens" anxiety, especially for buyers moving into hybrid ownership for the first time. Cost matters too. Sportage Hybrid is often priced in a way that feels like you're getting away with something. You're getting hybrid tech, strong space, and big features without being forced into the highest price tier. Edmunds cost-to-drive estimates can also help buyers understand monthly operating costs, which is exactly what people should be looking at instead of only purchase price. Maintenance reality. Hybrid ownership still includes engine oil changes, filters, and normal inspections. But hybrid systems can reduce brake wear because regenerative braking supports slowing the vehicle, especially in city traffic. Tires are still a cost, and bigger wheels raise tire replacement cost, so again, the smart buyer move is to avoid huge wheels if you want the cheapest long-term ownership. So where does Sportage Hybrid beat the RAV4? It beats it in warranty confidence, interior space per dollar, and the feeling that you're getting more tech and comfort for your money, while still delivering hybrid efficiency strong enough to compete in the same conversation. Number 2. Hyundai Tucson Hybrid. If Sportage Hybrid is the value weapon, Tucson Hybrid is the tech weapon. This is the SUV you buy when you want your cabin to feel like a modern command center, your daily driving to feel smooth and efficient, and your safety tech to feel like it belongs in a more expensive segment. Mechanically, Hyundai lists the 2026 Tucson Hybrid with a combined 231 horsepower from a 1.6-liter turbocharged hybrid system and emphasizes strong fuel economy with an advertised 36 combined mpg. That number varies based on configuration, but again, the story is consistent. Tucson Hybrid is built to reduce fuel regret, But the real mechanical advantage is how hybrid torque changes daily driving. The Tucson Hybrid feels more confident at lower speeds because the electric motor fills in torque instantly. That makes it feel smoother pulling away from a stoplight, merging into traffic, or climbing a hill with passengers. Transmission behavior matters too. A hybrid can be efficient but feel weird if the power delivery is disconnected. A good hybrid feels normal, just quieter and more effortless. Tucson Hybrid has been positioned as one of those hybrids that feels easy to drive rather than different. Suspension and ride quality. Tucson Hybrid is tuned for comfort. It's the kind of SUV that makes commuting feel calmer. It's not trying to be sporty. It's trying to feel refined. And if you drive rough city streets or spend long hours in traffic, that refinement is not a luxury. It's mental health. Now, interior and tech. Car and Driver notes Hyundai updated Tucson's tech with a larger 12.3-inch infotainment screen as standard and brought back some physical buttons and knobs for more intuitive control. That matters more than people admit, because the future isn't everything on the touchscreen. The future is touchscreen plus smart physical controls. That's the combination that feels premium because it's easier to use at speed. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard across the range according to Car and Driver, and Hyundai also highlights upscale features depending on trim, like blind spot view monitor and other camera-based convenience tech. This is exactly how Tucson Hybrid can beat the RAV4 for tech lovers. It gives you a cabin that feels advanced without forcing you to fight the interface. Safety and driver assistance. Tucson Hybrid's strength is that it can offer a modern suite of active safety features, automatic emergency braking, lane keeping systems, blind spot monitoring features, and smarter cruise behavior. The important part is, it's not just what features exist, it's how they're integrated. Tucson Hybrid is designed to feel like a complete package, not a set of optional boxes. Now, the cost story. Hyundai's value proposition is usually strong for what you get, and Hyundai also supports ownership confidence with a strong warranty culture. That doesn't mean the vehicle is free to own. Tires, brakes, fluids, and service still exist, but it reduces fear for many buyers. Maintenance, like every hybrid, oil changes still matter. You still have an engine. You still need filters. You still need inspections. But again, regenerative braking can reduce brake wear for city drivers. That can save you money over time. So where does Tucson Hybrid beat the RAV4? It beats it in cabin tech experience, screen and control usability, modern premium feeling interface, and overall tech per dollar value, while still delivering strong efficiency and a smooth hybrid driving feel. Number 1, Honda CR-V Hybrid. If you want the most complete smart buy alternative to the RAV4 in 2026, the SUV that feels like it was engineered for real daily life, not just spec sheet battles, the CR-V Hybrid is the one. And here's why. Honda's strength is not making the loudest SUV. It's making the SUV that you stop thinking about because it just works. Comfort, space, refinement, and a driving experience that feels natural. Mechanically, Car and Driver describes the CR-V hybrid system as pairing a 2.0-liter four-cylinder with 2 electric motors, producing 204 horsepower. Honda itself emphasizes this as a responsive hybrid powertrain with up to 40 city and 34 highway MPG, depending on configuration. The numbers matter, but the character matters more. The CR-V Hybrid is often described as smooth, quiet, and satisfying, even if it isn't trying to be a performance SUV. This is where it beats the RAV4 for a lot of people. The CR-V Hybrid's refinement can feel more finished. The way it transitions from low-speed electric assist to gas power, the way it cruises, the way it absorbs the road, these are the things you feel every day. Transmission feel. Many hybrids don't behave like a traditional automatic, and the CR-V Hybrid is designed to feel smooth rather than shifty. For daily driving, that can feel more premium than a vehicle that constantly changes gears. Suspension and steering. The CR-V has long been a segment leader in being comfortable without feeling sloppy. It tends to strike the perfect balance. The ride is compliant, the body control is stable, and the steering is light but confidence-inspiring. It's the type of SUV you can drive for hours and still feel relaxed. Now, interior and design. CR-V's big advantage is packaging. It's one of the most honest space compact SUVs. The seating position is comfortable, the rear seat is genuinely usable, and the cargo area is practical. And when people say better value, they often forget that space is value. A vehicle that carries your life easily saves you frustration. Frustration is a cost. Tech and safety. Honda includes Honda Sensing driver assistive technology across the lineup, and Honda highlights wireless Apple CarPlay compatibility as a key feature. On Honda's own CR-V spec pages, you can see hybrid trims and pricing structure laid out clearly, and the vehicle is positioned as a premium-feeling hybrid that stays accessible compared to luxury options. Now, price and value. Honda's CR-V hybrid trims are not always the cheapest at the start, but they tend to make sense when you consider what you're buying: a refined hybrid powertrain, strong daily usability, and a vehicle with strong demand in the used market. That's what protects long-term cost. Maintenance and ownership. Honda's ownership story is usually predictable: routine service, normal parts availability, and a vehicle engineered for mainstream service networks. The key is, Honda's hybrid system is built to be lived with. You're not buying an experiment, you're buying a mature hybrid approach. So where does CR-V Hybrid beat the RAV4? It beats it in everyday refinement, ride comfort, natural driving feel, interior packaging, and this feels like a complete product experience while still delivering strong efficiency and modern tech. And that's why for many buyers in 2026, the CR-V Hybrid is the SUV that quietly dethrones the RAV4. Not by being louder, but by being better at the everyday things that make you love your car after the honeymoon period ends.